Hi, it's me, Cynthia, and we're back on our journey to making the upcycled rag doll out of the stretch legging pants. Now, this section is all about inserting your legs and arms. So let's get started. So far, you have filled your legs with the polyfill stuffing. Now, you're making sure that they're even in length and also compared in size. This is going to create you a beautiful doll. So let's watch me how I insert them into the body part of your rag doll. I'm showing off the purple girl on how I had her legs inserted, and so you can see how they are shaped and even looking for that ballerina leg. Just showing off because you're getting there to completing this look. I'm always reiterating about the openings because having those openings allows you to be able to insert where you need your legs and your arms. And I'm showing you that so that you can see how I had the polyfill inside of the body part, and then I just take the fabric and fold it inward and start inserting a leg. Do not fill the leg all the way up to the top. Leave enough where you can have flat material to insert into that area. Stay at the corner to what I call the hip area and insert it. Bend it down because you will do the hand sewing. Now notice they're not even, so that means that we're going to have to take it either out or take the other one out and make it the same length. You want the legs as long as you possibly want, which could be anywhere from 11 and a half inches to 12. That's a good little proper long-legged ballerina doll. Once I have my measurements and they're even together, I take a big safety pin and pin the tippy toes together. That'll help keep me having my legs even in length. Cut unnecessary fabric at the top of the leg. That's also making sure that when you insert them, you're inserting them at the same amount of width and length. I'm always examining my body and my head because before I insert my legs in, I want to make sure I do not need to adjust anything within the upper part of the body. So I just make sure that I'm very happy with the upper part of her body. All right. Tools to use, I use big safety pins. You won't stick you once you close them up. And as you can see, I'm making sure that I fold that fabric in, put that safety pin in the center so I have equal parts to separate, and put the legs at the corner. So that's just a way to help secure and allow you to be able to get your legs in. Notice how I'm making sure I'm staying at the hip area of the corner when I'm inserting the legs. That's perfect. You have them even. They're in there. You pin them down. And so you will do your hand sewing there. Let's go to the arms. In this area, I will speed up the video because I'm just inserting the polyfill into the arm. I'll do no talking during this session. All right, we talked about the legs, making sure they're even and that we have them in there. This is the hand sewing part. Now, the other fun part starts with the arms. And I'm going to see if we want them this long. That's kind of long. The stitching is really good on it. I don't need to reinforce the stitching. So what I do is I take my long cue stick, which is a chopstick. You can try this. If not, you can do it the old-fashioned way. And I open it out, pinch it out like that, and I take the square part of my chopstick and I push it down in there. Yep, pushing it down, and it doesn't work. It will work. You just have to have a little patience. See this? Push it down over it. Yep, there you go. Gotta have a little patience. Now, start pushing it. There you go. Bring it down. See how I'm getting that down over that? I take it out just for a minute. And what do? I take me a little polyfill, and I'm going to stuff that down in there. Okay? Then I take my stick, and I use my skinniest finger. See how I got that in there? I'm sticking it in there, right in there. Now, come down some more, and I take it and pull it down here, pull it up. I come out real easy, keeping my hold, and then right there, put some poly in. Yep, just a little. Don't want to overstuff it, but don't want it clunky. See how I'm pushing that down? And pushing it down in there, and pushing it. Then I just start pulling it down over it. Watch this. Look at that. And I push this some more in there. I like to have my hands and my feet firm, so when I put the ribbon, the ballerina shoes on, it works. And my little diamond bracelet is solid right there. Take it out. And little pieces as you fill this in. Now I'm doing my arms. I don't make the hands. I did, and they look like crab claws, so I gotta work on that. But I like the little simple hand hold. See how I'm getting that in there? This is the part where you just my scissors. We're going to do blind cut. Now, I'm going to take her to her side. And as you can see, I am folding that. Then I'm going to insert, because there is no polyfill here. And I'm going to go from the back and insert her arm in there. And then take my safety pin and pin her right there, because this is our hand stitching work. Yep, there she is, right there, and right there. Remember I told you to get the shoulder pads out, because we don't need the shoulder pads, so when we do this, we kind of, for her breast area, pinch that in, just pinch it in, and that gets that shoulder pad look out. Just pinch it in. There you go. Get your straight pin. I'm going to put a straight pin with a big head on it so I can really get it all the way from the front to the back. There you go. So I have that on. Now it's time to get our needle and thread, because we have one more arm to go about, and she's in. This is still working on our upcycled piece of fabric, the pair of blue jeans. Okay, let's keep it going. I'm going to get my needle and thread. Because that is such wonderful double knit stretch fabric. I do not need to wear them anymore. I can still get in the pants, but it's too hot where I live to wear them. That was the up north outfit. Made a beautiful, beautiful black doll. I'm going to share that one with you. Made a beautiful, beautiful black doll. In fact, I'll pull it out and show it to you in a few minutes. Square part. And we're going to push that poly fill. And once again, you can get this poly fill online, Amazon, online at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I do not have any sponsors. This is just my 73-year-old self enjoying crafting. So I shop all. Now you can see, remember I told you I did some bad sewing and I went too far out, and that's an ugly hand. So Cynthia's got to take the tweezers, get the poly out, and stitch that up. That's not nice. Knee finger. This is bad sewing on my behalf. So I'm making a correction on that bad sewing. Yeah. But the next clips that you will see are the black double knit stretch pants that I made the gala inspired ragdolls from. That double knit was very easy to sew with. Now you should have stitched your arms and your legs together with some hand sewing. Sit back and look at your project. Before you do all of that stitching, make sure your arms are not so lumpy and your legs are not so lumpy and you're pleased with it. And that she can sit partially on her own. That's why I have the apple bottom buttocks. And remember, we did this from a pair of upcycled stretch blue jeans. We're using upcycled fabric to make our ragdoll. That's the fun of this. And your very first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you'll use upcycled fabric. Now we're ready to start designing her look.